see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Because your business matters.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. We're coming to you live from the new Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. Please go by there and tell them that Joe sent you. We hope today we will inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do at WSIC. You are listening to 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now. Let me prove to you why we are the #1 live talk business show in all of North Carolina. We've been doing this show going over 10 years strong. We have well over 800 small business owners and community leaders that we have interviewed. We have well over 575 videos, interviews, and information on my brand new sexy YouTube channel. Go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker and check that out, and please subscribe. We would appreciate that. We're also live on the book right now. We are live on the tubes right now. For those of you that don't know what Joe Talk is, that is Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Please go there and you can communicate with us. We'll try and get your information on the air. Please know it's about a 30-second delay or so. So sometimes your question kind of misses where the conversation is, but if we can get it in, we will do that. And for those of you that are longtime listeners of the show, you know what happens in December. In December, what we do is bring in our co-hosts from our entire year, bring them in so we can, #1, thank them for being co-hosts during the year, and also have some fun. And this holiday show, we intend on doing just that. And so let me introduce my first co-host for today. It is my buddy and friend, whether he will admit it or not, James Sanders. He owns Shared Resources, Charlotte's most reliable IT company. Mr. James, how are you, buddy?
I am grateful to be here. Let's do this.
And also I have my friend, as you know, most of you listen to the show know there's very few people that I adore more than this man. This is Chris Villani. Chris is the founder of Rise of the Super Athlete. Chris,
That's
my
right.
friend, thank you for being here, buddy.
Absolutely, wouldn't miss it.
Now, boys, just so you understand something, this show, there is no segments.
Yeah.
So jump in.
Okay.
So, Chris,
Yes.
when James says something stupid, I want you to challenge him. You understand that?
Oh, no.
Wow. Okay.
And
Here we
James,
go.
Right.
and James, when Chris says something,
You are going down.
Okay, let's
You
make
are
this
going
happen.
down.
Let's do it. Let's go.
and when Chris says something spectacular, James, you get to say, "Wow."
Oh, wow.
You know what? I'm gonna throw some wows his way because I'm sure he's got amazing advice and stuff to bring to the table
Well,
here.
with a company named the Super Athlete,
Yeah.
Rise of the Super
Super.
Athlete,
Yeah.
that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So-
that is exceptional. So that alone, wow.
Thank you very much. I'll take it all day.
Chris, you got a wow
Yeah, I
ready to
know,
get started.
I know. This is great. I'll take him where I can get him.
So before we get started, Chris, why don't you, for those very few people listening to the show
Sure.
that don't know, what is Rise of the Super Athlete all about?
Yeah. So Rise of the Super Athlete is only on a premise that everyone out there who's really willing to work hard and go after what they do, they should be able to do it, but be able to do it on their terms. So most of the time, most people get out there and they do what they think they should be doing and doing the discipline and listening to their coaches, but they're never able to understand and make it happen. They get frustrated. The missing link is learning how they learn to be with themselves. How do they know that they're winning? What is that journey going to look like? And to become a co-author in life. So in other words, they're not waiting for life to tell them what's happening. They can actually go, okay, with life, how do I actually co-write life to show up every day, to know that I'm winning, to do what I've got to do, and take the lessons along this journey?
Got it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so, James, for those very few people that don't know, you're my IT go-to guy. What does your resource all do and is all about?
Well, I'm giving this one to Chris. We fix computers.
Hey, Chris, say
we-
wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much. We proactively maintain networks and identify opportunities and challenges and address those for small businesses.
And it is more and more important. Us small business people hate this stuff, right? But it's,
Yes.
But it's so important now. It used to be, until I met you, that I would think I'm a small little guy. You know,
Yeah.
what does anybody want to do? Mess with Joe and his 1 or 2 computers, right?
And then I sold based on fear,
Right.
Yes.
but that's learned fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really out there. It's nasty. It's absolutely good versus evil
Yeah.
in the technology world.
But to my point, James, what you taught me was that's exactly who they're coming after. They're coming after people like me with 1 or 2 computers, don't really have any protection, but I do transactions and deals, and they're trying to get in the middle of that and create havoc.
Low hanging fruit.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't know I was low-hanging fruit until I met you. So, wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for the wow.
Absolutely.
So guys, thank you so much.
Yes.
But before we get started, hey Wilton, can you fire up my burners, buddy Josh? Can you fire him up? So guys, I don't know if you know this.
Yes.
Since the last time you've been here, my sponsor is Burner Cigars,
Love those
Josh
guys.
of Burner Cigars.
Love them. Love them.
And he is the studio sponsor as well. And all of you guys smoke cigars.
Yes.
We have all
Yes.
smoked together. So I know you guys would appreciate that. That somehow I was able to finagle.
That's pretty sweet.
Yes.
That's a sweet deal.
And
Yes.
we got a box sitting in the studio to offer to my guests that they can have a cigar if they want.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little low now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you guys kind of cleaned me
Well,
out.
they got a couple of great ones I can't.
So Wilton, play fire that up.
Josh Johnson here, and whether I'm responding to an emergency as a Charlotte firefighter or unwinding after a shift, one thing's for sure: a good cigar can ignite your evenings with warmth and relaxation. Stop by Burner Cigar today, and we will help you discover the perfect blend to light up your night.
And so, guys, big shout out to everybody at Burners.
Yes.
This is
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
this is their time of year, right?
Yes.
And I want to remind everybody, if you have a special somebody that enjoys a stick every now and those of you that don't smoke cigars, we call them sticks.
Yes.
Okay. If you have somebody that likes to burn a stick or two, go to Burners.
Yeah.
I promise you, they will have the information. That they've purchased there before and be able to tell you and recommend you exactly what you should get. It is-
And they are patient
Yeah, they're great.
and will walk you through
Yes.
it.
they'll
and the
even take
parking-
you in the humidor and actually help you pick
Yes.
them out.
They're
That's right.
great.
And the parking for Burkdale is excellent because they got a lot of space behind them there,
Yeah,
right next to Witches.
that's right. That's right.
And I tell you what's I kind of like doing is walking over there, getting a cigar, and then walking down to the edge of the Greenway because Greenway is smoke free, but edge of the Greenway and enjoy it down there on the wall. So
Well, I wanted to bring this up at the beginning of the show because it really is important. I want people to know that and understand that if you smoke cigars, it really is a gift that you do appreciate.
Yeah.
that is true.
I mean,
love 'em.
you're giving somebody 45 minutes of pleasure.
Yep.
You really are.
That's right. A break from life.
least.
Sit down and relax.
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, guys, we're going to get started on our Christmas holiday show.
All right.
If it's WSIC, say it, Chris. Say it, say it, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone will return after this short
I'm
break.
always stumping
Only
Wilton. You know, I'm
105.9
keeping Wilton on his toes at all times.
WSIC.
I said, fire up that burner, and his face got red. No, not yet. Wilton, that was perfect. That worked out well.
Each morning to Good Morning LPN, where winners will be
Okay, Patrick is listening. He was my co-host last month, and so I told him, I'm good. You
A
guys
lighter?
good?
You have a
I'm
lighter?
good.
Still don't have a lighter?
You don't get a lighter.
starts this week.
And
You have
what
a
I'm gonna
punch?
tell you is, Patrick and I decided that we're not going to say if it's Monday afternoon anymore.
Okay.
I'm just going to say if it's WSIC, your. business matters. That's my new thing.
I like it.
That's my thing.
I like it.
It used to be the day.
Yeah.
I can't do the day anymore because they moved me.
That's all right.
I still miss
But
Friday
look
morning.
at your sponsorship now. You know, it used to be a morning coffee. Now it's an afternoon
well, I
cigar.
don't mind telling you, coffee delicious. I don't
Yes.
mind.
I agree. I agree. Yes.
I miss black powder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, when you had the same sponsor for 8.5 years.
That's
I mean-
either they are patient
Yeah. I think
or
I'm gonna say it one more time, Chris.
What's that?
Black powder coffee is
delicious.
I said that, didn't even get paid for that.
You know what? You just kind of go above and beyond, though. That's what's good about it.
Say what?
You just go above and beyond. That's what's good
That's right.
about that.
Above and beyond.
He is authoring his own story.
That's right.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so when we get back, is there anything you guys want to talk about your business specifically before we get into your Grinch
No, I'll
gig?
tell you, we have renewals, and that's always exciting. You know, getting people to pay a little bit extra for a little bit extra next year. That's always fun.
Extra.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the subscription base. We can do that.
I got a new client that had to have me.
Had to.
Had to. I met with them. I went in on Veterans Day, and we were closed. I went in and met with them, and they said, "Yeah, people are sending email from our accounts." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's do something about that." Here's a contract.
Like, you think that's bad?
Here's a contract. You let me know. It's a contracting company, general contractor type, right? I sent them. It took them a week to get back to me. They said,
Call
now they're sending it to people we care about. They figured out who will respond to this.
On WSIC.
Because we're thinking that's private.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and I'm here with Chris Villani, the founder of Rise of the Super Athlete. I'm also here with James Sanders. He is the finest. Wait a minute. Let me get your tagline just right. Charlotte's most reliable IT service company. Period.
It used to be we're conscientious. That was
Then you
We're
got good
conscientious.
at what you do.
But I had an attorney who looked it up and said, "You know, I really like it, but I had to look it up." And I was like, "Okay, well, how that goes."
Yeah, you got to make it easy for people to understand.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It meant something to me.
Yeah.
Well, here's the good news. What he's trying to say is the attorney said he can say most reliable. He's allowed to do that. That means something, you understand?
Yeah.
So, as I'm holding my cigar and cannot wait to
I know.
burn this stick, gentlemen, let's talk just a little bit before we have a little bit of fun here today about the subscription-based model of both of your companies, which is there is a monthly fee that clients pay for your services. That really is the future of business in general, right? It's this sort of monthly fee. And James, you want to talk about that? Because I'm used to doing that for IT probably since about 5-6 years ago.
Yes, prior to that, and it was failure to launch for a lot of companies because we'd sit and wait for something to break.
Right.
And when something broke, then we were at ends. You didn't want me at your house. You didn't want me there for 2 hours fixing it correctly.
Right.
It put us in a non-partnership, and I only made money when you were suffering.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for the IT industry, it made sense to get us on the same team. And almost all of my clients, I would say 95% of them, we are very much on the same team. When something is not right with them, it's costing me money. And so that's nice. And then there's a fixed cost per month. They know what to budget and how to handle it, and that works out really well for both of us.
Right.
Yeah.
And Chris, it's always been your model, right?
I like it because one, it puts you're starting out the right people. You're not chasing after everybody. People are committed. You know where they're at. You know their journey that they're on, whether their highs or the lows. And you feel like you're a part of the team, and you're not someone who's just doing a buy and sell or horse trading with. It's now long. Hey, look, we know where we're at. I know you. I understand you. They understand me. We know how to work with each other. And there's a level of trust that's bought over time that you can't get on one transaction.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And it does create this loyalty that sort of sticky,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yes.
as I'm writing the check each month, or nowadays it's an automatic draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you kind of reinforce that it's valuable.
Yes. Yeah. Now, Chris, do you still have people come to you and say, "Look, man, I just got this one
Yes,
thing.
yes,
I
all the
need
time.
this address
All the time.
How much flat rate?"
Well, you see, it always changes because there is differences on who I'm working with and what they're actually looking for. But that's an interesting thing because most people will only come to you when it hurts.
Yeah.
But they could have been solved earlier. And when it comes down to like being the best in the business, and this is whether you're in business, you know, as a business owner or as an athlete, the worst time to try to fix something is when it broke. This is something that probably should have been figured out, especially on the mental side, because everything's mental first. You can
Yes.
practice as much as you want, but if you're not able to get your hands dirty and do what needs to be done when it's, you know, dark and you're alone and everything else, it's going to be a hard ask. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy the winning. So when someone comes to me, the very first thing I'm asking is, we should have talked 6 months earlier.
You know, it's funny that we talk about this. I know what happens in my industry. I didn't realize it was happening in the auto industry as well. But I get clients that call me and they say, "I just need your help with this piece of the transaction."
I did that to you.
Right.
I don't know if you remember or not.
Well, the point is, what they don't realize, you know, I've got 37 years of experience that I'm handing you. That's really what you're paying for.
Absolutely.
And you're also paying to hear me, unfortunately, tell you what you may not want to hear.
Right.
And I tell clients all the time, listen, you're paying for my advice. You're not paying for me to tell you what you want to hear.
Right.
And so sometimes they have to hear no.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to hear, that's not correct.
Yep.
That is not the way I would handle this.
Yes.
And it really frustrates them. And you know, when you say it, you're probably not going to get that client, right? You know, it's like,
what's interesting
okay,
is-
take a deep breath. Okay, here we go. No, man, that's not right. You know?
But you say that, but I think it does a couple things. One, it raises your value of who you are when you say something like that, because now they can trust you. There is a level of trust that someone who's always not going to be your yes person. Anything that is important in life, even if you didn't like the advice, you'll still take it. It's like when you're a kid and your parents would tell you certain things, but you had to kind of go through and you go, gee, I wish I would have listened to what they had to say. That's where the information becomes important about going, okay, talking about the subscription model. It's really about relationship based, because if someone goes, I don't have to do this, but I know if I do this, I'm less likely to have any troubles. And if I do run into trouble, I can get it taken care of or resolved, or I've learned something that I can use on the next part of this journey or chapter. And when it comes to you, Joe, I think when you look at 37 years, even if you said, Chris, I disagree with you on a situation, I would still look and take that back and go, okay, I'm going to consider this, because I may not agree with Joe,
Right.
but he knows, he's been down that road. He's like like an Obi-Wan or Yoda. He's been down the road. He understands stuff.
You know what he called me? He
Yeah.
called me Yoda.
He did call you. I thought you were going to go with Obi-Wan.
Nice.
Yeah, either
Like,
one.
no,
I
that's
put them
not
both
right.
out there.
Nice.
Yeah, they're either
Nice.
one out there. But
Well, you are. You know, Julie and I spoke about it this week, and I have to remind Julie. You know, our clients, they don't know.
Yeah.
If they knew, they wouldn't need us, right?
Right.
So we got to tell them what we think and what we believe based on their circumstances, and it may not be what they want to hear.
well, that raises additional points. If it's a client one time doing something, we have to be able to tell them the good and the bad. And that's just because even as a human, you want to be nice to people. You can't keep telling people something they think they always should want to hear and then have them run into trouble in the back end. It's like you take your car into a dealership and it's having trouble with the engine. You went up to say, everything's fine, don't worry about it, you're good, and have it break down where they're on a family trip on a Disneyland in the middle of nowhere. So being ethical, being a human and being nice and being someone who is that person who's willing to be not liked or not 100% where people are always appreciating it, is being able to say, look, this is what we have to do. This is what's happening. Here's what we can do to resolve it. Let's go ahead and make sure we take care of these changes, and allowing them to, of course, whether they want to, commit to that or not.
Yes.
But there's what I call a big value there that we cannot miss. Everyone's always worried about when it comes to sales. I have to tell them the right thing. No, what you need to tell them is the things that they need to hear and to ask.
And we all do this. You said, James, you came to me and wanted a
Yes.
piece of.
Yes.
I've done that to you. I've come to you and I
Yes,
said,
right,
now listen.
right.
So we do that because
Right.
we're trying. We're small business people. We're
Yes.
looking for just a
How
little bit.
committed am I to the success of this?
Right. And that's another thing too. And then you find out where they committed with success. Like if I'm working with an athlete, I need to know if we're looking down a journey and they're going to say, hey, I'm committed to you for 3 months. I need to know, are you committed? Because if you're not committed, or this can be a one-time thing, it's not going to happen. You need to be able to go all in on the day when it sucks and it's raining and it's cold and it hurts and your coach is yelling at you, the team hates you and you lost a big game. Are you willing to get back up the next day and do the disciplines and what it takes to move to the next step forward? Because if not, it's going to be a hard ask, not for you, but also for everyone else around there. And I think being ethical and part of being a human is kind of going, wait a second, here's what the journey is. This is what it's going to take to require to get there. As long as you have a big enough why and you can go to bed at night looking at yourself in the mirror going, hey, okay, I'm good even at my worst point in life. I can do this and I may have fallen back, but I can get back up and I can trust this person. We're good. And there are people, I mean, I look at my dad, relationship with my father and stuff. I love him to death, but I know there's conversations where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe my dad. It's not so much now. Right. But I know when I was younger, I used to look at him like, you know, my dad's dumb or stupid or whatever. Now my dad, I look at my dad, I have conversations every week. Gee, Dad, you're actually more smarter than I thought. Right?
He's a genius now.
Every week I call my dad up, hey, Dad, can you tell me about this? Or what about this over here? And he has answers. That's like, wow.
So, James, right about now, you should say, wow.
Wow.
There you now.
Hey, that didn't cost me anything.
That's right.
And I got a cigar out of the deal so far.
That's right.
This has been a very worthwhile trip.
Okay, so let's have some fun. Let's do a little Christmas thing.
Okay.
You sent me something that I read half of, and it was just hilarious. I started dying laughing.
Thank you.
It is the Grinch poem that you wrote some. Okay, first of all, I know you used.
Uh-oh.
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, without a shadow of a doubt, you used AI.
I don't even know what that word stands. I don't know what those letters mean.
I know you used AI. I'm positive
How could you
to create this poem. But it was
it's
still hilarious,
Thank
and
you.
I want you to read it.
Thank you so much.
Wilton, because he loves me,
Yes.
not because he has any interest in pleasing you.
None.
Wilton gave me a special Grinch button.
Oh.
Ooh.
This Grinch button is the music that you will read your Grinch poem to.
Okay.
I need attitude.
You got
I
it.
need inflection,
Okay.
intonation,
Me.
production, allocation.
Huh?
I'm trying to think of
Aloe
some
vera?
words. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I want a little attitude here when you, okay?
Yes, I got it.
And
I got
you gave me a little bit to read, and you're going to point to me when you want me to read it, right? Well, Wilton's saying we only got 2 minutes. He don't want us to start this. He's afraid that he'll have to cut you off, and it would really bother him to have to cut you off.
Yep. It would
So
not
what
be a
we've done
solid-
is we've teased everybody
That's right.
to what we're going to do.
But we still have 2 minutes.
Okay.
So what are we going to do in the meantime?
You are not going to be able to read that.
Hey,
in
what's
2
your
minutes.
favorite cigar? Absolute favorite of all time.
Chris is holding it right there in his hand. Right.
Is that
the Avo.
right?
The Avo is my favorite.
This one right here?
Yes.
I can't wait to try it.
That is
this
my
out
favorite.
the Avo Sync?
And you picked up my second favorite cigar, which is this aged limited
Rocky Patel?
cigar from Rocky Patel is my second. So Chris is holding my 2 favorite cigars. Of course, you understand, guys, that entire box is full of my favorite
Some good
cigars.
stuff,
So,
yes.
so you'd have a hard time not picking something out. You understand that I like.
You know, I open that box up, I'm like, oh, I got to have 2. It's almost like putting a kid in a candy store and go, you can only have one thing. You're like, where do I even start?
That's burners.
Yeah, burners.
Yes.
So now I've got 2 fun cigars and pick out a fun whiskey with them, and I'm great.
And now burners just had a 10th anniversary?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Yeah. Actually, I think they've been there 12 years.
Oh,
12
wow.
years. So you like whiskey? What do you like
whiskey.
to drink with a cigar?
Coca-Cola.
I was going to say either a Coke or a cup of coffee. But I am learning. I'm trying to learn to be a drunk. You understand? So every now and then I will take some whiskey with it.
Yeah.
Right. Every now and then. You guys have seen me do that.
Yes, I've actually hung out with you.
That's right. Exactly right. Yeah. We need to do that before Christmas ends, guys.
Yes.
We need to do that again.
Let's do that.
So let's take a break. When we come back, then we're going to do your Grinch poem.
I look forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
Are you ready, James?
I'm ready.
If it's WSIC, say it, say it, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
That's nice.
There's more Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone on the way from the new 105.9 100.7
she's ready.
WSIC.
Christine's on there?
Yeah.
Saying of a truck.
She is listening to me right now.
No, I'm good. You got whiskey, that'd be great.
And Black Automotive is
Christine's
where
on the internet?
no matter where you're heading
On
or what task
internet?
you're tackling,
Better do a
there's
good
a
job.
premium
What?
They have internet on computers now?
Wait, what?
perfect for you.
What's happening here?
$7,000 off the Sierra 1500 crew
He's
cab
engaged to
model
her.
with a 5.5.
Oh.
And I don't think he understands.
Oh.
He come walking in here with the plaid shirt. He got a beard and a mustache now. you know what I'm
Completely
saying? He
unkept.
riding a bicycle
Yeah.
to the studio.
Does he not use your
I don't-
bicycles?
Will you please tell him that just because she is a fiancée,
Yep.
she could leave him. She don't have to finish.
Oh, let's
she
not-
don't have to actually
Well,
get to the altar.
I wanted to brag that she's still talking to me since the last time we were in here.
Uh-oh. Sounds like there's a backstory to this.
I mean,
I met her.
if-
She's delightful,
Yeah.
and for the life of me, I don't know why she likes him. I don't know. She's a spectacular woman. How he got her? I mean, was there money involved? I don't understand it. I mean,
I just caught her at a low point, I think. you buy.
she's at a low point in life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honey,
She started
at
to
this
s-
point,
yeah.
there's nobody better.
You've done every.
It's just me and you.
Honey, I don't see
So-
nobody waiting in line right now. You know?
For the
Now's a
engagement.
good time to ask.
Well, for the engagement, we hiked. We were in Hawaii,
Nice.
and we hiked
What
into
island?
the Kalalau on Kauai.
Quite beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we
You're
hiked
the
down the
north end or the-
Kalalau Trail.
You're in the Waimea Canyon? You're in that area, or are you
no,
up north?
other side, Princeville
You're-
area.
She don't
you're in
look
the-
like a hiking
okay, yeah.
kind of a woman. Really?
I know she's up for some
You forced her,
adventures.
didn't you? You forced her to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kauai's beautiful, and the areas he's talking about is absolutely amazing.
2 miles into the beach and then 2 miles into the waterfall. She's hiked
Oh,
4 miles.
yeah.
You
She's
kidnapped her, didn't
muddy.
You kidnapped her. Is that
We're
what
all
happened?
muddy. I'm the only one with food or know the way back out. It was a very simple decision for her.
Yeah.
So
Kauai's
yeah.
beautiful.
yeah.
One of my favorite. That and Maui I love. Those are 2 islands.
So that's the
I love
end.
there.
So I met her. So I offered for them to get married in my backyard.
When are you getting married?
Next July, it looks like. That's the last thing she told me.
It looks like. Okay.
That's if
Because
she's
she
still
could
talking
change
to
your
me.
mind.
Yeah, and she's allowed to. She's very much allowed to. That's a good. Are you
If
getting married
she's still
here
talking
or?
We don't know yet. We do have an idea about eloping.
Nice.
Yeah, running away and somewhere tropical.
Make it for you too. Yeah.
You're gonna kidnap
You go
her.
to like St. Thomas or something.
Well, now we were thinking again, maybe another island in Hawaii. And then
Have you been to Maui?
So she can't run.
Maui or the Big Island?
Hana. Yeah, out in Hana, the far end of Maui.
Yeah. Oh,
be fun.
you're talking about
and compassion. We're
the road to the Hana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said Hana. It's like, wait a
Do
second.
I have that
It's
wrong?
it's a road to
I don't-
Hana. The way you said it was.
Oh, you don't think you think it's Hana instead of Hana?
It could be
I
either
don't
way.
know.
I don't know.
I don't.
I actually, I go both ways.
I don't know.
I think. But I actually stayed in a yurt. There's a person who has a yurt out there. She may still have it. And but you're out there and you might as well do that. And of course you get to do the hike. And after the hike, you get to see the sunrise. And Haleakala.
We took motorcycles to the top.
Oh, did you really?
And
Okay.
there was ice. There was
Oh,
ice
yes.
on the ground when
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there
yeah.
that day.
Yes, people don't realize that snow can happen up there.
Continues with local entrepreneur Joe Vagnone on WSIC.
Yeah. You are listening to Local Biz Now, the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. We are live coming to you from the Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do at WSIC. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and if it's WSIC, your business matters. Now, I promised you a spectacular Christmas show that's getting ready to happen right now. Let's call this a holiday show.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes,
You put something together,
I did.
and we're now going to get started on it.
Are you ready?
If you don't have attitude,
I'm good.
if you
try
don't
my best
do
to have
it,
attitude. I mean,
okay.
I've
Are
practiced
you ready?
it 28 times. We'll see how it
Wil-
turns out.
Wilton gave me a button I'm getting ready to push. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Take a deep breath, sip of water. All of you listeners. Oh, that wasn't necessary. Here we go.
In the town of Bizville, where small businesses thrived, a merger was planned with excitement derived. Two companies, Acme and Widget, were set to combine. Their strengths would align, their futures entwined. In that quaint little town of shops and cheer, where small businesses thrive, casting out fear, there also lived a tech Grinch known as Byte, whose heart was as cold as a midwinter's night. Byte hated the hustle and bustle of trade, the hum of commerce, the deals being made. He loathed the excitement, the joy and the glee, and plotted to steal it, just like the Grinch did, you see. On the eve of the merger, the grand acquisition, two businesses poised for a joyous transaction, Byte crept through the shadows, his heart full of spite, to disrupt the deal and turn day into night. With glitches and crashes and servers on hold, the acquisition was hindered, its story untold. Emails bounced back, data vanished in air, as the tech Grinch caused chaos and despair. The merger team struggled, their faces aglow with frustration and worry, their spirits laid low. The Grinch-like technology reveled in glee, disrupting the process with malicious decree. Deadlines were missed, deals fell apart as the tech gremlins practiced their dark art. The once promising merger, now doomed to fail, left Acme and Widget with a bitter tale. The business owners, distraught and dismayed, saw their dreams crumble, their plans all astray. They cursed the bad luck, the poor investments of their life, and wondered who could it be that's cause of the strife. But Byte, the tech Grinch, his heart full of glee, snuck back to his lair as sly as could be. He cackled, he chuckled, his laughter so cold, he stole the merger, another success story untold. Meanwhile, a business broker named Joe stepped in.
Oh my.
Guiding the business owners with a resolute grin. He had bought, sold, owned, and operated more businesses than anyone. They found him when Google led them to joevagnone.com. That's my favorite part right there. He was experienced, well-read, and in the know. You can find him on WSIC, local Biz Now radio show. Joe crafted a strategy with precision and flair to salvage the deal and leave Byte in despair. Joe's first step? To pull out of the depths of despair? Hire a technology support firm with expertise to spare. One came to the rescue like knights in shining armor to save the businesses from Byte's data drama. Now, if you'll read that next part.
They were led by a techie so handsome and smart, his comforting guidance coming straight from his heart. They had wasted time and money on techs by other names when they could have been protected by shared resources and James.
That's me.
I gotta read this. His eyes were deep brown, like...
Okay, stop.
like coconuts. His lips were as tasty as my favorite
Joe, now I'm getting
donuts. His smile,
Stop.
the room filled with hope.
Stop. Can you
If it
turn
wasn't
off his...
for my wife, with him I would elope.
Okay, all right. I've told you once, let me just... With updated firewalls and passwords, they fortified their stand, protecting the business from Byte's evil plan. They scanned and they searched with meticulous care, ensuring the data was safe, simply beyond compare. The merger team cheered, their spirits renewed, as the tech Grinch's plans were subdued. With Acme and Widget's systems aligned, the acquisition was back, its future enshrined. With the data secure and the strategy in place, the acquisition moved forward at quite a swift pace. Byte watched in dismay as his plans fell apart, his hopes of disrupting the deal torn apart. So, the business, now resilient and strong, didn't let Byte's mischief drag them along. They rallied together, their spirits undeterred, and with teamwork and grit, their merger occurred. They outsmarted Byte. His tech tricks no match, for their techie and business broker were a real catch. The merger went through, a triumph so grand, and Byte, the tech Grinch, was left in the sand. The business owners rejoiced, their spirits revived. Acme and Widget's dreams of acquisition once again thrived.
Hey!
They thank the tech firm and the business broker with a smile for saving the business from that Grinch's vial. So, dear friends, as the holidays near, at Burner Cigar in Birkdale, the spirit of business is always held dear. You'll find cigars and minds alike are ablaze. We're building commerce from opportunity is all of the craze. And let us remember, in Bizville's grand quest, that small business technology can put deals to the test. But with smart IT support and business brokers quick and keen, no failed merger or acquisition will ever be seen.
Yeah. Okay, Wilton, do I press the button to stop this?
Well, thank
James,
you for
that
letting
was
me read that.
exceptional.
Thank you.
That was great.
It was a lot
That
of
was
fun
great.
for me.
Okay, Chris, right by now you should say wow.
Wow. That's a double wow. That was pretty, actually, that was really great. The voice and everything.
Oh,
Loved
thank
it.
you so much. Yes.
That was exceptional, buddy.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
I was a little worried. You weren't going to give it some attitude, but you did good.
I
did
thought
great.
for a moment that I'd say in the town just to make you nervous. Just to make you nervous.
That was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional.
Thank you so much.
So, this is our holiday show. Thank you so much for listening. That was James. Hang on a second. He's got eyes brown like coconuts.
Okay.
His,
Joe, please.
His lips are tasty like my favorite donuts.
Okay,
He
Joe.
fills up the room with hope, and I would leave my wife for
Joe.
you and elope.
No. Once, twice, three times, no. No.
So good job, buddy. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
We've
much.
done that before in the past. Tried to do some stuff over the
Sure.
years like that. We probably ought to do a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
So guys, let's talk a little bit about this year, right? What happened this year that surprised you the most, right? Because we're coming off of COVID and we were trying to get back in the groove. I don't know about you guys. My business is not back in the groove. Now we actually end up with a pretty decent year.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about sales as much as things were different. The
Yeah.
way clients wanted to deal with us, the way we had to interact, the way we had to find clients,
Yeah.
right? Our marketing strategies, things have changed. I also found that people still do not want to work 100%. We normally we might find that we can get back to somebody in 2-3 hours, right?
Yeah.
And they would get back to us within about 2 or 3 hours. Well, they might be getting back to us a day and a half later.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me they're not at the desk all
Even
the time.
salespeople, who I would think would be excited about getting a commission. If I'm open to having a conversation with them, they should be calling me back.
Right.
So are you guys
Yeah.
seeing any of that in your business? It's kind of interesting. Chris, I thought about you last night.
What's
I watched football game last night. It seemed a little slow. I was watching two exceptional quarterbacks.
Yes.
They seem a little off their game, right? I was wondering, is this all part of a get back in the groove kind of thing?
You know what? And this is something I was just watching. Tom Brady actually was talking about the current state of football right now, from where it was in the past to where it's going in to now. And what he was more or less talking about, it's more of an attitude of what's happening on the
Right.
field with the players and everyone
Right.
else. I didn't know that was actually with consumers, and I think COVID really did a number with everybody.
I know
'cause
it did a
what
number on
happened
business.
is COVID put a lot of people down where it was really a big winner. And until you get to push yourself and move yourself forward, and this is what's missing. People you need to be able to push and figure out where you're at. And until we do that,
It gave you
won't solve the
excuse
bigger
not to
picture.
push.
100%. I'll be coddled. I'll figure out I can't do anything anyways. Why even try? So you're already losing that mindset of I can go after more and be more. And we were, unfortunately, where we left it now.
Wow.
Let's take a break and we'll come back. Chris, because you got some stuff we're going to talk
I
about,
do.
right? Okay.
Absolutely.
You are listening to WSIC. We'll be right back.
Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone. We'll return after this short break on
Hey,
the new
that
105.9
was
100.7
exceptional.
WSIC.
It was a good one.
Here's your WSIC community
Tell-
calendar.
don't say
that was
wow.
really good.
Tell 'em
Did
wow.
you see that?
This
Wow.
week.
I knew he liked it because he was in there smiling.
It was great. It was great.
So I did not have to press that button a second time.
No. I'll turn the volume down. When you press it again, it starts another ad.
Okay. No, that was awesome.
First time.
Yeah. I think you understand that the first time for Wilton. You understand that? Yeah.
This Saturday are
I
almost sold out.
I loved it, buddy. It was excellent. It turned out just great. Yeah.
How long do we have, Wilton?
Hall & Oates, Christopher Cross, Kenny Loggins, and more. The Docksiders, Saturday, December 9th.
2 minutes?
We got about 2 minutes. We come back, and then we've got 15 minutes.
Okay.
So
Chris-
take it away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, I love that you say stop using it as an excuse.
Yes.
It has been driving me crazy.
Yes.
From the initial the supply chain issues, like
Yeah.
stop,
Yes.
stop.
It's a-
It is a piece of software.
Yeah.
We do not have a supply issue here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that. I'm tired of hearing
You
people use it.
pleased Patrick and you pleased Julie online,
Oh, yeah?
but I have not heard anything from your woman.
Uh-oh.
Now,
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that means exactly.
She's
But
probably so
it's
blown away right
probably-
now, she's speechless.
Probably
She's speechless
no,
right
no,
now.
no. It's
She's
probably
like,
you're
wow.
coming on to me, and she's like, "Well, you're
She's
not
questioning-
going there
she's questioning
anymore.
your
If that's
manhood."
the way that you didn't tell me Joe acts like that when I'm not around."
She is questioning your manhood.
I read it.
What? She wanted it to be clear. She said it was excellent.
Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart.
That's how you do it.
We might have forced her to reply.
I think she probably knows what she's doing.
There's a 30-second delay.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. No, it was great, buddy. It was.
Thank you.
I really
Yeah.
liked it.
Thank you.
Okay, when we come back, what are we going to talk about?
We can talk about New Year's resolutions.
I'm sorry?
New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Don't work.
Okay.
So I'm going to take it from that side.
Well, why you got to come in here bothering me all the time? You know, when he took this job, he's like, I had no idea Joe was going to be involved.
What's it?
I said, when Wilton took this job, I'm sure
Oh.
I had no idea.
Today. Drum Landscape Supply. Your
Like, where we at here?
one-stop landscape shop.
Now more Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Boom. Bam.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's right.
Burner Cigars in Birkdale is waiting for you. Go by there and get you a stick and burn a tasty one. Because
Yes.
all three of us guys are going to do just that after the show. I'm
Absolutely.
positive of it. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. James, if it's WSIC, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah. So we went to break.
Yes.
Let's get back to a little seriousness, but still keep it on the holiday.
Sure.
You want to talk about New Year's resolutions and what not to do?
No, I want to talk about how resolutions, how people, it's time of year where people are going, what do I want to do? What kind of new resolutions do I want to make? And invariably, they never get done. In fact, when you look at the statistics of New Year's resolutions, only 9% of people who actually make a resolution actually even complete it by the end of the year.
So it's like a bad time.
Oh, well, the research even shows even more
Really?
distressing stuff. And there's reasons behind this, so we're going to kind of tackle those real quickly.
Well, I only know that because of you. If you're
Yeah.
not motivated, don't even think it.
Well,
the motivation comes
The
first.
motivation, it does, but there's more to that because
Okay.
I can be motivated for a second until it's 5 o'clock. I can be motivated. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then 5 o'clock in the morning comes around and it's 30 degrees outside, and I've got to do my run. I'm staying in that bed where it's nice and toasty,
Okay.
warm, and everything, and having my coffee.
All right. Well, I didn't want to step on you. So
No, we're good.
So take it.
We're
take
good.
it.
So we said only 9% of the people actually who commit to a New Year's resolution actually complete it. We know that by the second week of January, 23% of the people who have made a New Year's resolution have already given up on it. That's after we're 2 weeks into it, and people are already saying, no, it's not going to happen.
That's interesting.
And then we know that by the end of January, 43% of those people have already decided it's no-go. Maybe next year.
Wilton said he's going to lose some weight. Meanwhile, he's in eating all the candy
Yes,
I've been giving.
right,
him. Okay.
Right. And it's interesting because it's a New Year's resolution for most people. is like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to make more money, or I'm going to be, whatever. The challenge with that is it sounds nice, but there's no plan behind it.
And what you taught me is better thing for me to do is say, I want to be a better Joe.
Yes, you have to define exactly what it is, and you're now there's something that I like to say is, if we don't write our own story, life will do it for us.
You get that, James? We
It's
have
sinking
to
in.
write our own story.
So this is where you have to be a co-author
Starts
with
with
life.
a chapter.
Yes, we are going right there to a chapter. Yes, 100%.
I'm on this.
Nice.
So
Go on. I don't want to step on you. Go ahead.
So life's undefeated. We know this. We can't sit there and say, well, I'm going to plan my day 100% this way, because life's going to happen. If you have family, business, just overall in general, life just happens for us. What's fascinating is if all of us decided to get in a car and say, hey, you know what, we're going to take an amazing trip and we're going to head down to the Keys. Key West. We all want to go to Key West.
Yes.
We know that we go, man, it's gonna be great down there. I know for me, I love snorkeling with sea turtles and stuff. So I'm already there. I'm in a kayak. I'm already there in my
James,
mind.
can you tell he's already done all that? So you'll stay there. Okay, but go ahead.
So we all be, oh, this is great. But then what we would do is we'd kind of plan for it. What would we need to bring? How would we get there? What car are we gonna use it? We would know along the way. We would anticipate gas. Maybe there's a tire that's going to be blown out. Maybe there's going to be a roadblock.
I got to stop about every hour and a half and give me a snack.
Right.
I got to hit the Wendy's.
Yes.
I got to hit the Arby's.
Right.
There's some necessities.
Pick up some orange juice from that place that has it for free.
Free.
The free orange juice on the border of Florida.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
All right, we'll add that to the list.
So as we're going down there, we would do this on our trip. This is what we're going to do. This is how
Plenty
we're going to do
cigars
it. We're going to
along
seal
the way.
cigars,
Okay.
right? From burners, of course. And as we do this, we would, this is how we're going to do it. It's to be expected, no problem. But for most people, they say, hey, I want to go ahead and lose 50 pounds because I don't want to feel miserable anymore.
Right.
Or I don't want to feel lazy or lethargic, or I want to have more energy for my kids. The challenge with that is the next morning you get up and there's really nothing there. Because you have what am I going to do? That's a big goal. 50 pounds, that sounds a lot. Or I want to make more money. There's no reverse engineering of what I need to do to make it happen that day. So what we need to do is how I like to look at it is, you need to look at your life as a story. And the very first thing you have to do is create a new chapter. So instead of writing a goal or resolution, I want you to think of it this way. What is a new chapter going to be called? For me, I completed 3 Spartans this year, 3 Spartan races.
Okay.
I'm doing
He's
one...
starting to show off now.
Yeah.
No, they're fun. The reason I do it is it's because I have to. It's because I have to get out and push myself.
Right.
I do trail runs and all this other stuff like that on days I don't want to do it. And when you're out and you're doing a Spartan race with the obstacles and you're running the 3 miles and you've got the environment and all the obstacles, it's me against me.
If I'm hiring you, I want you to be doing that.
Yes. You 100%, because if you don't know yourself and where your limitations are, the problem is we get up every day and we don't know who we really are. We get what everyone else has been telling us. We get what society's been telling us. We get what our friends have been telling us. Our enemies.
That's an interesting statement.
But we never have really realized how good we are. Well, look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was really unique in this area. He knew he's the greatest among everybody. But to him, he wasn't the greatest until he knew every day he could walk off the court knowing that I pushed myself.
Right.
Kobe Bryant was the same thing. He created Mamba mentality just for that. So you have to look at it going, it's me against me. Everyone else may say I'm good and great and everything else like that, but am I going to be okay with going to bed at night knowing that I tackled this day 100%?
It's funny you say that. You know my son.
Yes.
I've had you work
That's
with my
right.
son.
That's right.
It's a joke's going around my family for years, right? Is whenever we're in a fight or something, they're arguing with me, I always say, well, not everybody can be Joe.
Yeah.
And I know it's fun, but you know where I'm headed with that.
Yes.
I get to define my worth.
Right.
And I don't want anybody defining my son's worth. Yes. I want him to define it.
100%.
Same thing with my wife. I want her to define it. So when I make that statement, which is silly, and of course, that's just my way of doing it, right? It really is saying, make your story.
Know where it's at. We get to define. It's like this. We go to life thinking we know if we're going on a one-way road and you have the guardrails on one side and the other, we think we know where they're at, but we don't know it because we just believe what our past has told us. And if we don't have a vision for the future, we default to our past anyways. And if our past does not have any good answers, we know what our life's going to be like.
Right.
So we have to go, okay, if I'm this person, this is who I was, this is what I am at now, but I'm curious, if I did one thing that challenged me, what would it be? Who would I have to become? What would I do? What would I learn differently?
And sometimes for me, I'll say I'm something, I may not be there yet. Right.
And-
You know, remember
yes.
when I was losing weight, I said I was
Right.
the most handsome man in
Right.
Cornelius? Well,
Right.
okay. Maybe that was a stretch. But it really was. You were helping me
Yes.
define the direction I want to go.
Well, here's the other part of that. Every day you're earning the right. And I
Right.
always, then one of the biggest things I tell athletes, just because you won a gold or you won state or you're top, whatever it is, so what? I want to know what you're going to do the next second. What are you going to do the next day? Because all it really is, you're working for about 5 seconds or whatever it is, a minute for that medal or award, but you're doing hundreds of hours and a lot of discipline and a lot of practice to make sure you get where you're at. So you better enjoy now, because later on, all you'll have is now, and you won't be happy. So what you have to do is look at it, okay, what's my story? What would I name that chapter? And find something that intrigues you. If you're reading a book or if you're watching Star Wars, you're already in there because you're looking at the guy, Luke Skywalker, right? When they first start out with this, here's this guy.
I'm Yoda.
Yeah, right? He's out here. He's just this farmer guy. He's a farmer guy out there, and the guy comes up to him and basically says, you need to come with me. You're much more than you think you are. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm this little kid. I have nothing. And nobody, even until Empire, does he realize, well, I am more than I am.
And what I want people to hear from you is, because this is really important, right? Yes. You can complete a chapter, complete a goal.
Yes.
It's time for another one.
You should already have one kind of already waiting, because what happens is people will complete their goals and they're like, is this all there is?
Right.
And then, well, I just got to do this because this is how everyone else does it. The biggest thing the biggest shame about it is humans are capable of so much, but they're their own limitations of what they actually do. And that sucks. And I think that people should always be looking at, what is it for me? It may not be for anyone else. What is it for me that's going to push and pull me in a direction so I know where I'm at?
Define yourself, describe yourself, and call it a chapter.
Create a new
book,
chapter.
Let's go.
It's that person that you think of the rise of the phoenix.
Right.
Whatever that gets you motivated, and then start reversing engineering. What would that be like? How would I have to be? What do I have to do?
Let me, and for people that are listening, this is how you did it for me.
Yes.
You said, Joe, your book's going to be Joe 2.0.
Right.
There's the book.
Right.
Now I get to fill in the
You
chapters.
need all the different chapters,
Right.
and some chapters are great. Some chapters
That's
suck.
right. That's
and
right.
it's because it's not always gonna be it's not Luke Skywalker. He found out he was supposed to be this amazing kid, and he's a Jedi. No. He had to go through a lot of different adversities, troubles. He had a lot of doubts, a lot of struggles to become who he was. And so what you do is we create this story. Then what you have to do is what are the stakes? What are the stakes if I create this goal, whatever I've committed to? I wrote in that chapter. I know what kind of want to go to. I read this goal. This is what I want to go to. What are the stakes? I want to know something that can be won, and I want to know something that can be lost. So I want to know something that can be won if I do this, and what's going to be lost if I don't. So if it is about being in shape and stuff like that, something that could be won, it could be, I could be with my family more, spend more time doing the things I want to do, not having to worry about disease later in the future. Right. Your influence always starts with your inner self. People want to take influence and sales courses and have someone else do it for you. But to be honest, if you're not influencing yourself, no one else is going to believe you. So you have to learn how to influence yourself, and you get to learn about yourself. So you go, okay, today I get to learn, what do I get to do? That means I don't get to eat a gallon of ice cream today, or whatever it is. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it once in a while. Right. I'm just saying understand what are the stakes that are there. And I also want to do this, is what happens if I don't achieve the goal? Is it a complete loss? Because a lot of times most people who set goals, if it's good enough, won't achieve them. But that's not the important part. The important part is you moved forward. You learned about yourself.
I'm a little bit better than
not only
yesterday.
That, here's what happens. You also became a brand or an identity. And when people see you doing this stuff over and over again, you become an identity. I know them. So that's the other thing too about it. You learn how to do the discipline of it, going, okay, I'm becoming this person. This is where I'm going after. They're seeing me going through day after day to go after this person. I now have currency in myself, and I have currency in others. And that always leads to future resources.
Chris, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. James, say
wow.
it. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Be the man. Guys, we've only got about 20 seconds. I wish everybody listening to have a great holiday. We're gonna run this, so people are gonna get a chance to hear this. Thank you guys both so much for sharing this holiday show with me. I really do appreciate it.
Grateful to be here.
Yes.
Both of you guys together. If it's WSIC,
your business matters.
Yeah.
1059